There's been like crazy drama between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark since the beginnings of their rookie seasons, which was last season. It has been made very clear even since, because let's be honest, Caitlin Clark doesn't care about Angel Reese. Like, she just doesn't. She's very concerned with like playing her game. She's got like a great boyfriend. She seems like she's got her life together. Angel Reese has always been like super petty towards Caitlin Clark. We can probably definitively say Caitlin Clark is the better player. I mean, she was the WNBA Player of the Year last year. She's incredible, setting all types of records. But meanwhile, while DEI it's gone away in a lot of senses, it still is very much prevalent in certain areas. And I would say, including the sports world, they have not completely done away with it. And now we're finding out that the cover of NBA 2K26 is featuring Angel Reese as one of their cover stars, which already is weird. First of all, I don't know which man is going to be like, I want to buy the WNBA edition of NBA 2K26. Like, that's the one I want to put on my shelf when my friends come over and we're playing video games. But for whatever reason, they decided to make a WNBA edition and then decided that Angel Reese should be on the cover over Caitlin Clark, which does not make sense. I mean, Caitlin Clark is the poster child of the WNBA. So this is like DEI on top of DEI.
Yeah. I mean, it's reverse racism, which is just racism. But it's not just that. It's like they hate her because she's white, because she's straight, and because she's excellent. And we know, I mean, I've said this many times on social media, but the WNBA is welfare for tall lesbians, right? It's a very toxic place. And you mentioned in that introduction about what's going on that this should be a place where it's feminism, women uplifting women. Women sabotage other women. There are studies on this. We know that a female hairdresser will recommend that a client cut her hair shorter. I've done videos on this because women actively try to sabotage each other. I think even when you're a lesbian, you're still competing for that male attention, even when you're a lesbian. And that's what's happening in the WNBA. Men, on the other hand, they will often, unless they're very insecure and only want to surround themselves with people who make them feel better about themselves, which certainly happens, and we know people who do this, but overall, men want to be friends and surround themselves with men who are more successful, have the hot wife, like the men they aspire to be, the guys who work out at the gym. I have a bunch of guy friends that met here in Miami because they were at the gym and all just kind of grouped together to make themselves better, right? Women do the opposite. So that's just on the WNBA, how they're all so catty towards her. But this goes beyond that, because you'd have to imagine that whoever chose this cover, do you know who makes this decision? Because that's not actually the women of the WNBA.
No, I think it's, I mean, NBA 2K I don't know if they have allies within the NBA who also they work closely with, or they're just like part of on like a video game company. I have no idea. But, I think that
it could be men choosing this cover. That's the point. Like, it's not necessarily women.
Oh, 100.
It's probably male executives.
I think it was men probably choosing this cover. 100%. Yeah, I mean.
So then why did the men do this? Because because they don't want to make money, because they have a once-in-a-generation talent with Caitlin Clark, and they've decided that sucks. Like, we don't want to celebrate this. This is crazy.
Well, I think they probably imagined. I mean, I think if they were smart, they would be like, of course we put Caitlin Clark on the cover. She is the reason the WNBA is having any type of success right now. But I think they probably, in their minds, are like, what kind of reception will there be if we put Caitlin Clark on the cover rather than Angel Reese? Instead, and thinking, it's probably better to get some type of pullback or whatnot from having Angel Reese on the cover rather than Caitlin Clark. They just wanted to take the safe route because they knew what we all know.
This is just like lowering standards for SAT scores for colleges, where when you do this, it causes more racism towards or more discrimination towards any kind of group, whether it's lower, like, engineering schools will often lower standards for women to accept more women, to be more balanced, right? And we know they do this with different minority groups, not all minority groups, but some of them. And Angel Reese obviously should not be on the cover. And this is DEI.
I mean, this is DEI at its finest. I mean, but my point I still would like to make is this is NBA 2K26. Why is there a WNBA edition of NBA 2K26? Because seriously, what like athletic man, I mean, this is the guys that are playing NBA. It's not like the theater kids. I mean, these are like the wannabe ballers or like the already ballers that are playing this video game. Which guy is like, you know what, over SGA, who is one of the greatest players in the league. I mean, he had an insane season. His team just won the NBA championship. We have Carmelo Anthony, legendary Hall of Famer, who's going to be like, you know what, I want the Angel Reese edition up. That is not going to happen. This was purely one of those just like all for show type of moves that the NBA 2K video game made in general. Like, it's not necessary. There doesn't always need to be like a female counterpart to something that is male dominated and should remain male dominated. But on top of that, putting Angel Reese over Caitlin Clark, it's obvious the reasons that they did that for. And so for me, this is literally, it's DEI on top of DEI, and I'm not here for it.
It's compounding DEI is what it is.
Compounding DEI.
That's literally what it is. The only way that putting a woman on this cover would make sense is if it were Sophie Cunningham, because she's smoking hot. And that would make sense.
It wouldn't make sense, though. It would not. It doesn't make sense to put a woman on this cover regardless. There should not be a woman on the cover of NBA 2K26. I don't care what year we're in. I don't care if we have a female president at that point in time. There should never be a woman on the cover of NBA 2K. Never.
You heard it here, folks.
And that's on that.